The U.S. Navy have achieved a significant milestone in the development of the carrier-based unmanned aerial refueler on December 9, 2020, with the first flight of the MQ-25 Stingray tanker test asset with an aerial refueling store. The U.S. Navy is spending $13 billion buying 72 MQ-25 Stingray tanker drones for its 11 aircraft carriers. The idea is for the Boeing-made MQ-25s to refuel manned fighters, extending their range while also relieving the fighter squadrons of their own tanking duties. But the MQ-25 always had potential to be more than just an aerial refueler. With its stealthy airframe and high endurance, it could be a surveillance plane and even a light strike platform, too. A military analyst said, "Main point is that the Navy is acquiring new aircraft with highly sophisticated communications systems and sensors. The F-35C stealth fighter, the E-2D early warning plane, the MQ-4C high-altitude drone, and the MQ-25. Where before, E-2s would fly over a maritime battle, detecting targets and relaying commands to fighters, now a new system is coming together. The F-35C, E-2D, MQ-4C and MQ-25 all possess the qualities of a sensor and command and control platform. So instead of passing information just one way, from an E-2 to a fighter, in coming years info could begin moving in all directions." An F-35C in stealth mode might detect an enemy ship using its passive sensors and beam, via secure data link, the target's general location to the nearby MQ-25 that just refueled the F-35C. The MQ-25 could hand off the data to an E-2D. The E-2D crew could instruct the operators of an MQ-4C to steer their drone toward the enemy ship's location. Once the MQ-4C pinpoints the ship, the E-2D could then pass the targeting data back to the F-35C as well as to other Allied vessels and planes, all of which could fire missiles. Imagine this whole process happening in minutes. It is about deploying an extended trusted sensor network, which can be tapped through various waveforms, and then being able to shape how the decision-making arc can best deliver the desired combat effect, Laird wrote. Having a test asset flying with an aerial refueling store gets us one big step closer in our evaluation of how MQ-25 will fulfill its primary mission in the fleet. Aerial refueling, says Captain Chad Reed, the USN's Unmanned Carrier Aviation Program Manager. MQ-25 will continue to yield valuable early insights as we begin flying with F/A-18 and conduct deck handling testing aboard a carrier. Boeing says it plans to work with the USN to conduct future flights to further study the aerodynamic interaction of the aircraft and the refueling store at different points of the flight envelope. The company says it aims to then progress toward extending and retracting the hose and drogue contained within the aerial refueling pod. The MQ-25 is a Boeing-owned test asset that the company is using to speed up early learning and discovery, ahead of development and test of USN-owned engineering and manufacturing development MQ-25 Stingrays. The MQ-25 had been flown about 30h prior to the addition of the aerial refueling store. The MQ-25 is partly intended to free up the F/A-18, which sometimes acts as a substitute in-flight refueling tanker. Moreover, the unmanned tanker would allow the Super Hornet and the Lockheed Martin F-35C to fly further, allowing the USN to keep aircraft carriers at a safer distance from the enemy. The MQ-25 Stingray will be the first operational carrier-based UAV. Along with its AAR air-to-air refueling capability, it will be able to perform intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance (ISR) tasks. It is the second UAV to operate from an aircraft carrier, After the Northrop Grumman X-47B Pegasus that was tested both alone 2013 and alongside manned aircraft 2014, from the USS George H. W. Bush CVN-77, and the USS Theodore Roosevelt CVN-71.